know what I hate? I hate to have to set up a room to show off to you guys because it looks so average. You know, I don't have like all the fancy Yu-Gi-Oh setups. What the hell? Alright, try to ignore that creepy little doll and then let me know in the background if it decides to move. If it is, then this will be my goodbye video, and let's just jump right into this this video. Like the title says, this is the post what is it, Battles of Legend, the Monstrous Revenge deck list, I guess, for the Tellarknights. I know I haven't posted in a long time, but I thought I would share with you guys an updated deck list. I know you've seen my last video of me like doing massive test hands and all that stuff, and got a pretty good feedback on it, so I thought I would show you in detail the deck list that I currently have. A few changes have been made, nothing crazy, but I think that this deck is very layered. It's not always just straightforward turn skip or just build a board and pass. I think it has like a lot of layers that a lot of Tellarknight players have not been able to tap into because they're not, I don't want to say as committed as I am, or I rather use as obsessed as I am with this deck. So here we go, guys. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Let's get up to 800 subscribers, and if not, that's okay. I'm gonna share this profile with you guys just like I did with my very first video. So at some point I was running one Tellarknight Deneb, but I went back to 3. The reason I was running at 1, and this is again something you can do, is because you I mean, I feel like she's not as essential as she used to be. However, her turn skip effect makes her pretty important. The turn skip effect is risky because a single imperm can throw off your whole strategy. However, if it does go through, it's pretty I mean, it's amazing. So not everything that the deck is capable of, but certainly something that I'm looking kind of to leave in, because again, it's a layer, right? Then you have your 3 Tellarknight Lyran. This is the new best Tellarknight card in the deck. Searches for any Tellarknight spell card. Too bad not a trap card, but a spell card. I think in the future, if they do come out with more support, they'll probably come out with another Tellarknight that searches out a spell card. Would be unfortunate to run that one because there's only one good trap card, and that's Stellar Nova Alpha. But for right now, Lyran is the one, and this is your turn skip, obviously, and yeah, she's great. You mainly want to search off Skybridge because you can obviously search off Constellar-Knight, Tellarknight with Caduceus. But I'll get into this actually right now. The 3 copies of Constellar-Knight Caduceus became even more important. I used to run 1 copies, bumped it up to 2 I think at some point, and now it's finally at 3 because it interacts well with the new Tellarknights, and obviously I bumped up the ratios on those as well. So Constellar-Knight Caduceus, it special summons itself if there's a Constellar monster on the field, and then it adds the spell card Constellar Tellarknights. However, don't forget about the secondary effect. If it's a XC material, when you're battling a light or dark monster, before the damage calculation, you banish that monster, which is a pretty nutty effect. Oh god, that's so creepy. At least it's not talking. Spellcaster. I mean, I don't know, man. I wish it was a warrior, but I guess Spellcaster is not too bad. I wish there was a Spellcaster searcher. That'd be nice. Anyway, 3 copies of Tellarknight Alteran. I used to run 1. Then I'm like, you know, Lyran and Caduceus interact really well with Alteran. And then sometimes when one of them gets banished, this is like a big target for Call by the Grave. So when Call by the Grave hits this, at least you have more copies to go back into it. And sometimes I even use Caduceus' effect, the XC monsters, to banish her to pop a card on the field if I'm in a tight spot. If there's like a what do you call it, floodgate on the field, you know, like there can only be 1 or something like that. So I got 2 copies of Altair. This is here mainly because of the Deltaros combo, and if you're trying to do a turn skip, you can do it twice because there's only 2 of them. If you outside of that, you can't do any more turn skips. If you want to bump up your turn skips, you need to bump him up to 3. 1 copy of Anukalai. This is your Foolish Burial, usually a bait. 1 copy of Vega. God, fell off. You know, not as good anymore, but definitely again a good bait card. You activate its effect, and usually people respond to it, and then you just chain off Lyran to summon the monster anyway. One copy of Sirius, a very underrated card. Seriously, God, how many times do I have to make that joke? I need to hire an editor. Maybe they can cut some of this stuff out. I wonder if anybody knows someone that would be hiring, that would be willing to work for me, actually. I guess we'll never know. So one copy of Sirius, pretty essential because you commit a lot. If you play a certain way, you'll commit a lot on your first turn. Sirius kind of recycles all the Tellarknight essentials back into your extra deck and back into your deck. So really important card. Plus it gives you a +1. And then speaking of +1, there's Sheraton, the guy that you don't really want to draw or ever see, but if you are running links, I guess it's not such a bad card because it's still, you know, it's not completely dead. So one of, obviously, searches out a Tellarknight card, which doesn't have to be Caduceus if you already have Caduceus in hand. It can also search out the rest of the Alteran or Lyran. Okay, so that's the Tellarknight lineup. I'm really hoping for an errata. I don't know. I got a feeling that it's coming. Okay, so we got 3 copies of Sakitama. This is your extender. You don't need Arakitama. Rarity upgrade. Looks pretty nice in ultra rare. An extra normal summon, and don't forget, if this guy is tributed, it comes back to your hand, which is pretty important if you're running certain cards that require to be tribute summoned. So free recycle, and then end of the turn, it's a spirit monster, so it does come back to your hand. You got 1 copy of your Diameter, 1 copy of Circular, 1 copy of Nabla, 2 good to remove. 2 of these is your combo starter in so many different ways. You can go, obviously, the Lapilation route during your opponent's turn. You can go into Synchro during your turn, obviously, because both of these guys are tuners. And you can always, I don't know, I mean, the guys are just very flexible, very good cards. 1 copy of Shiren, Tyrelman Shiren. She is, I think I'm enjoying having this card in the deck because she unclogs a lot of, sometimes when I brick, she unclogs those hands because she sends a monster from your hand and then you mill 3. The good thing with that is sometimes you have Altair in your hand, so you can use its effect, and it's a free body on the field. Almost. You feel like you're going -1, but not really. So this one's a pretty good card. And then it makes Constellar Tellarknights live, obviously. So that's for the extenders. And then we have the hand trap lineup. We got double Lubellion. Okay. We got double Drew Swarm. And then double Magnamut. Dragon Links are making a comeback. Dragon Links and Jesus, I don't know, Branded is still a deck. A lot of and Labyrinth is still a deck. So Dark Monsters are very popular again, and again, Bestials are on the rise again. So I bumped up the copies to Lubellions because I do want to see Magnamuts. Worst case scenario, this is a free Chaos Angel. Best case scenario, it's a Hand Trap. And also you can make Baron with this card if you have if you opened with nothing but like a Matmac and this, you can go into Baron because Matmacs are tuners. I used to run what is it called, the new Assault Synchron. I used to run that one, but then I realized that it's kind of bricky. You can try and run it with tuning. I'd rather not. I think this is fine because my priority before was going to Baron, but you know, you take the wins, you take the losses. I'd rather not. I'd rather have a consistent deck than the bricky deck, and sometimes Axel Synchron bricks because there's no good Synchro 6 level 6 monster. If you guys know of a good one that's an extender, I'm not saying like that new one, the Tribe Brigade or whatever that one. I mean, it's a +1 card, but it's kind of a dead end after that. I mean, I can't do much with it. So if you guys know a good one, leave it in the comments down below. I would love to get more of your feedback. I know you guys are not shy about sharing your comments. The time of this video, by the way, should be posted 6:30, which is a Friday, and then on that Sunday I'm taking it to locals, so I want to see how it does. And then it's gonna be a live stream. And then 3 Ash Blossoms, pretty standard, pretty strong. That rounds up the monster lineup, let's just jump into the spell cards. You got 3 copies of SATELLARKNIGHT Tellarknights, and then 1 copy of Skybridge. Also, I mean, I don't know. The deck was 49 cards, and I'm like, I need to add 1 card. So, what should it be? I mean, I don't know. Maybe like Stellar Knight Alpha. God, I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, this is just like a wild card, but if you guys don't know what this does, it's a 500 boost to a Tellarknight monster. You only need to be controlling Tellarknight monsters for this card to stay on the field. But if you control that Tellarknight monster, it's unaffected by opponent's card effects. So essentially what you want to do is you want to go into Diamond with this and then slap this on top. Because Diamond, as great of a monster as he is, he's 2700, which a lot of monsters can get over. But this extra 500 boost is actually a blessing in disguise. So that's it for the Tellarknight cards. I don't know, I'm testing this out. We'll see if it works. We'll see if I even draw into it. Got a bad feeling, but could also be a game changer. 3 copies of Signet Mining. You're going into your that's just bait most of the time, because you want to play that first thing to kind of see if your opponent has Ash. 2 copies of Triple Tactics, solid card. 1 Rhoda, 1 Call By. Okay, standard, not gonna change. Triple Imperms, 1, 2, 3, and then 1 Super Factorial. The only one of 2 bricks that I actually have in the deck now. The deck used to have a lot more bricks, but now I kind of cut that list down to about 2 cards, so I'm pretty happy with that. So for the extra deck monsters, we got 2 copies of the Tellarknight's Constellar Caduceus. I cut this down to 1, but I quickly regretted it. Not only because of the turn skip, but because it's a good follow-up, I guess, into 2 level 4s, because it recycles materials and it's very strong, you know, like, so it'll be foolish of me to cut, and it was foolish of me to cut it down. 1 copy of Stellar Knight Deltaros. Key thing to remember about Deltaros: while this card has an XC material, your opponent can activate cards or effects when you normal summon or special summon a monster. So basically, when you summon, they can't respond to anything. But it's like a what do you call it? Branded Lost, but a little bit weaker, but still pretty good. And then continuous loop effect of sending it to the grave and coming back and yada yada. So the newly acquired Tellarknight Talamias. I'm gonna show this thing off, this bad boy. I mean, it's kind of, the light is a little reflective, but the quarter century rare is just so beautiful. Let me take it out of here. Let's see if this will give it a little more shine. Of course. Wow, look at it. I'm so happy with this. I hope you guys saw my latest video on Instagram. It's fire. If you guys haven't, check out my Instagram. I feel like I should be on every platform. Anyway, 1 Dark Tellarknight Battlemist with a SATELLARKNIGHT Constellar Diamond. What I used to do is I used to overcommit a lot to a board. Now I kind of see layers, right? I see the Omni Negate route. I see the turn skip, which is pretty solid for cards that don't run interruptions. And then I see, I mean, cards that don't run interruptions. Oh, obviously decks run interruptions, but you know what I mean. Like if it's not like Runic or Imp or anybody has Imperm, then you're good. Or Nibiru. I mean, those are all situationals, all right? Every deck loses to every hand trap, all right? Just stop, cut with the bullshit, all right? Okay, so anyway, the reason sometimes I'm ending my board on these 2 guys, and I feel pretty confident. This does well against Sprite, and this does well against Sword Soul. Those are the 2 that I can count off the top of my head for now. But the fact that this makes everything dark on the field, and Diamond, not a once per turn, can destroy all the, like, negate and destroy dark monsters from anywhere, and not to mention completely shuts down the branded deck, it makes it even more powerful. So, but yet again, 2700 is not very strong, so you want to kind of equip, that's why I have that equip card. So we'll see how that works. We'll see it during the tournament. I'll be live. M7, a solid card, but pretty weak when the turn that it's summoned. So by itself it's not that strong, but I mean overall it's, and why is my bed moving on its own? It's kind of creepy. If I don't make it today, guys, just please get this video to 1 million views. So Consider telling me, yeah, just a step up card. Except during the next turn, if it somehow stays on the field, it's pretty strong. Usually, I think I can bring this back with the Constellar Tellarknights and then overlay another monster on top of it, so it has its uses. Let's see, so we have the 2 new cards that are not Tellarknights. We have the Cyber Dragon Nova and Cyber Dragon Infinity. I think that double Omni Negate during my opponent's turn is pretty strong. Usually my board consists of Infinity, what else? Infinity and can't think of it. Laplation, and then another either Tellarknight or Baron on their field during that turn. So triple Omni Negate potentially is pretty strong. Anyway, so that's the new addition. I took out the Utopic Draco Future. I feel like it was strong, but not strong enough, if that makes any sense. Anyway, and definitely no more Appaloosa. Not strong enough. Not in this format. Too many spell cards that pop cards on the field. Matmech, we got the Alambertian and we got the Laplation. Alambertian effect you can actually use to pop Deltaros, that way triggering its effect and triggering Alambertian's effect, so that's pretty handful. Laplation, sometimes you can go into this if your opponent used up a lot of hand traps, and you can go somehow make 3 level 4s just to get rid of whatever cards they have left in their hand. Is pretty strong. You got 1 copy of Zeus, because Zeus is the best XC out there right now. You got 1 Baron, because you can make Baron, and then 1 copy of Chaos Angel. So up to you, whichever you want to go to. I mean, obviously going first, you want to hit him with Baron first, and then going second, you kind of want to go into Chaos Angel. I am looking for Muckracker, because Muckracker is, if you guys don't know, you can bring out Chaos Angel initially, use its effect, link it off into a Muckracker, and then Muckracker's effect brings it back again. And since it's a special summoned and not a synchro summon, you get to use Chaos Angel's effect again. So that's pretty strong. And then 1 copy of Sky Striker Ace Azalea. Gonna test this card out unless I run into a copy of Muckracker. If not, Azalea is pretty strong. It's like a Sprite Elf, but a light and a dark monster combination, which is, I mean, what the deck has. Mainly it's in case I get Dimensional Barrier. Let's go into the side deck real quick, and then we'll wrap up this video because I am tired. We got 2 Godarlas, because I can't find because I mean Flangeries is still a thing. So 3 Droll and Lockbirds belong in the side deck. Still pretty good, but not what it used to be with the super heavies out of the way. 1 copy of Awesome. This is awesome if you're trying to burn for time. On summon 1000, and you don't even need to search it because Caduceus will get its effect and burn automatically. So 2 level 4s is Cowboy for me, essentially. 3 copies of Dark Rulers, 3 copies of Evenlies, and then, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just overhyping this card, but Eradicator Epidemic Virus for that shoot, why not? Sprite matchup for the Labyrinth, and I don't know, maybe Kashtira? Kashtira matchup. I do run Bestial, so I guess this, you know, it works. But that's about it, guys. That's my side deck, and that's my deck profile for my Tellarknights. Let me know in the comments down below if you enjoy this kind of content. I try to make updated list of my Tellarknights. I try to make them consistent with every new set that comes out. I'm trying to look for like little cards here and there to introduce to the deck and make it more competitive. Have a good night, guys. I will be seeing you guys at the locals this coming weekend on Sunday. Don't forget to tune in, and have a good night. SATELLARKNIGHT is out.